Eagleton's book, Materialism, aims to demonstrate the theoretical connections among three major philosophers: Friedrich Nietzsche, Karl Marx, and Ludwig Wittgenstein. He argues that these connections stem from their materialist views on society and language. However, materialism transcends this primary aim. Eagleton delivers a radical defense of work, tradition, and human nature, alongside a sharp critique of anti-essentialism and academic exclusivity. Additionally, he makes a compelling case for the tangible consequences of metaphysical ideas. Historians often trace the concept of anti-philosophy, the notion that philosophy is more therapeutic than theoretical, to the 19th century, citing Marx or Nietzsche as pioneers. However, this skepticism towards philosophy dates back to ancient Greece. Diogenes the Cynic, for instance, embodied a cynical view of the futility of philosophical speculation. This anti-philosophical stance has always been part of traditional philosophy's methodology. Given their classical inclinations, it's unsurprising that both Marx and Nietzsche embraced this critical view, seeing philosophy as ad hoc explanations masquerading as a priori truths. Wittgenstein shared this suspicion of conventional philosophy, although his disdain for classical texts suggests his skepticism had different origins. He once remarked, "Reading the Socratic dialogues, one has the feeling, what a frightful waste of time." Unlike Marx and Nietzsche, Wittgenstein did not view philosophy as useless per se, but he cautioned against taking it too seriously. His colleague Norman Malcolm recalled Wittgenstein, suggesting that a competent philosophical treatise could consist entirely of jokes. For all three philosophers, as Eagleton notes, there is a shed refusal to see philosophy as an autonomous discipline, insisting instead on its integration within broader material history. Eagleton's exploration of these thinkers reveals their common ground in materialist philosophy. He shows how Nietzsche, Marx, and Wittgenstein each situate philosophical inquiry within the context of societal and linguistic material conditions. This perspective challenges the notion of philosophy as a detached, purely intellectual pursuit. Instead, philosophy is deeply intertwined with the material realities of human existence. Materialism is more than an academic treatise, it is a radical manifesto. Eagleton defends the dignity of labor, the importance of tradition, and the essence of human nature. He critiques the trend towards anti-essentialism and the exclusivity of academic philosophy, arguing for a philosophy that engages with real-world issues and remains accessible to a broader audience. In doing so, Eagleton underscores the practical impact of metaphysical ideas, advocating for a philosophy that acknowledges and addresses the material conditions of life. Through his examination of Nietzsche, Marx, and Wittgenstein, Eagleton offers a nuanced view of materialism. He highlights the theoretical linkages among these philosophers, while also presenting a broader critique of conventional philosophy. Materialism is a call to recognize the social and political ramifications of our metaphysical beliefs, and to pursue a philosophy grounded in the material realities of human life. While Eagleton acknowledges differences such as Nietzsche's vision of the Übermensch and Marx's communism, he is more intrigued by their shared assumptions. Both philosophers dismiss abstract conceptions of equality, view knowledge as inherently practical and grounded in the body, recognize false consciousness in the masses, and are skeptical of altruism and humanitarianism, seeing them as veils for exploitation. They also agree on the necessity of a dialectical process to achieve their goals. For Marx, communism transcends capitalism using the very tools capitalism provides. Nietzsche's Übermensch emerges from the ruling class's disdain for the last man, a mediocre being satisfied with superficial equality. Despite these shared beliefs, Marx and Nietzsche arrived at radically different political conclusions. Marx championed class struggle and sided with the proletariat, advocating for revolutionary change. Nietzsche, although he spoke of overcoming adversities, was averse to change initiated from below. He detested socialism for undermining the wage earners' satisfaction with their existence, and admired Napoleon Bonaparte as a model of his ideal warrior prophet. Eagleton dedicates the first half of Materialism to arguing that metaphysical convictions are crucial for social criticism. He contends that these beliefs either influence, determine, or intertwine with political perspectives. He points out a historical link between radicalism and materialism in left-wing thought, from the English Civil War to the works of Baruch Spinoza and the French Enlightenment philosophers, culminating in Marx and Engels. For these thinkers, matter is alive and self-determining, akin to the populace in a democratic state. In contrast, the mechanical materialism of Isaac Newton and his followers, which reduces matter to mere corporeality and relies on spiritual forces to counter inertia, resembles a monarchy or despotism governing from above. Eagleton's exploration of Nietzsche and Marx highlights how their materialist philosophies share a common foundation, despite leading to different political ideologies. Nietzsche envisions the Übermensch as the pinnacle of human development, transcending the mediocrity of the last man, through a process fueled by the elite's rejection of complacency. Marx, on the other hand, sees communism as the inevitable outcome of the proletariat's struggle against capitalist exploitation, using capitalism's own mechanisms against it. The philosophical commonalities between Nietzsche and Marx include a practical bodily basis for knowledge, a critique of false consciousness among the masses, and a suspicion of altruism and humanitarianism as disguises for exploitation. Both philosophers recognize the importance of a dialectical process in achieving their aims, whether it be the rise of the Übermensch or the establishment of communism. Eagleton's analysis emphasizes the significance of metaphysical beliefs in shaping political ideologies. He traces the legacy of radical materialism from early modern philosophers to Marx and Engels, contrasting it with the static hierarchical view of mechanical materialism. This dynamic self-determining view of matter aligns with democratic principles, while the mechanistic approach parallels authoritarian governance.